Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an advanced main menu in Roblox Studio. If you're stuck or need help, contact me on our Discord server, our studio. Link is on the screen and in the description. With that being said, let's get started. Alright, so first up, what we need to do is we need to go to Start UI, click on the plus, and start Screen GUI. Let's name the Screen GUI menu. Inside the Screen GUI, click the plus, and then insert frame. We'll name this frame main frame. Then what we need to do is just scale this up. Make sure you set the scale on these to 1 and offset to 0. Then set the anchor point to 0.5, and then just set the position to 0.50, 0.50. Then set the background transparency to 1. Then we've done that, so what we'll do is duplicate this frame and then put it inside the main frame. Press Ctrl D to duplicate if you don't know how. We'll name this mainframe buttons. Then set the background transparency to 0. Then we can just move this around. So this little frame right here is going to contain all our buttons like play, settings, stop, update log, credits, all that. So set the background transparency to 1. Then insert a camera scoop. Make sure when you're doing camera scoops, make sure you do the scale first before the offset. It's had a little bit of a problem where if you choose the offset first, then it just goes invisible. So if you have that problem, just set the scale first. Then set the anchor point to 0.50, 0.50. Sorry, anchor point goes to 0.5, and position goes to 0.50, 0.50. Then set the background transparency to 1. Then insert a new frame inside of it. Then just set the scale and anchor points. There we go. Once we've done that, what we'll do is we'll just scale this down. And if you need to get the size right, make your anchor point background transparency to 0 again. Then we can mess around with this frame. So this point could be our play button. What we'll do is we'll set the background color free to 40, 40, 40, and then then duplicate the frame, drag it down, and then just half the size of this. Then duplicate again, and then drag it to the other side. And then duplicate these two, and then drag it down. Then it should look something like this. Set the camera group background transparency to 1, and it should just look like this. Now what we need to do is we need to add a UI corner. What we'll do is we'll click on the plus and insert a UI corner. Then click on the UI corner, go to corner radius, set offset to 0, and set scale to around 0.25. Then just copy this and then select all of these frames and do Ctrl Shift and V or Command Shift and V. And once we've done that, we'll name our GUI. So this is our play button, so we'll name this play. This button can be our settings, we'll name this button settings. This button can be our update log, we'll name this update log. This can be our store, we'll name this store. Now this can be our credits. There we go. Now what we'll do is we'll click on the plus in play, insert a text label, then just set the size. In the text setting, set the font face or font to Gotham. This is going to be the font I'm going to be using. You can choose any font you want. Then set text scale to true, and so set the text to play. So the text is a bit big, so what we'll do is we'll just scale this down a little bit and put it in the middle. They should look like this. Then after you've done that, click on the plus and insert a text button. Then just set the size now. And then once you're done with that, just delete the button in the text, and then just press enter. And it should just look like this. So now once we've done that, we'll copy the text button text label and put them in all the other buttons. Then change the text on the text labels to the button, well, the name of the button. And now it should look like this. We have our buttons done, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add the title. So we'll duplicate the buttons frame, and then just remove everything inside the camera screw. And instead, we'll set the buttons transparency to 0, drag it up a little bit, and then just scale it to around here. Then set the background transparency to 1 again, then inside the camera screw, add a text label. Then just do all the position and everything, and then we'll do the font, I'll do the Gotham again, and then the text color, set it to white, and then this text we'll put in gaming. This is just going to be like this for now. And there we go, we have our title. Simple as that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just click on the screen GUI and set display order to around 10. This is going to make the menu display above all of the other GUIs. So what we're going to do is set ignore GUI and set to true, set resplit on spawn to false. So now we're gonna make our camera. So what we're gonna do is click on view at the top and then go over to command bar. So just click on command bar right here. Then just click on run a command and then just follow along here. I've left the script in the description if you need help. Now a lot of people got a bit confused on this part, so I've left the script in the description. So what we'll do is local part equals Instance.new and then we'll do parts. Then we'll do part.Parent equals workspace and then part.Name equals menu camera. Then part.CFrame equals workspace.CurrentCamera.CFrame. And then just go to wherever you want to position the camera. So we could go over maybe here, we could face the waterfall, or we could face like this part right here. I'm gonna face the waterfall like around here. This is a good position right here. So then just click on the line and then press enter. Then it should spawn in a new part. If you don't want to do this, then click on model and then just insert a new part. And then just drag the part around and then just put it where you want the camera to face. Just like that. This is just so it gets the perfect position like where you want it to be. But this, you just have to move the part around like this. So that's how you do it with this. And then that's how you do it with it like that. So if you use the parts, then you're fine. But I'm going to be using this. So make sure you change the name of your parts if you use it that way to menu camera. Then what we'll do is we'll group as a folder and then name this menu. Then click on the plus in menu and insert a local script. Then just delete this and then name the local script camera. We'll do local player equals game.players.local player. They'll do local character. Now if you want to just troubleshoot so like we don't get any errors, we'll do or player character edit wait. Then local cam equals workspace.CurrentCamera. Then repeat wait camera.camera type equals enum.camera type.scriptable. And then after until we'll do camera.camera type equals camera type.scriptable. Then camera.CFrame equals workspace.menu.camera.CFrame. Then we've done our camera, so you can go ahead and play test it and see if it works. But before you do that, make sure you anchor the part and set can collide to false, and then set the transparency of the part to 1. And then once you're in the game, it should look like this. So we got a play button and all that, and our camera is stuck to this little part right here. So everything works as intended. So now let's get to scripts and got pop-ups. Duplicate our main frame right here, and then let's name this pop-ups. And then what we'll do is we'll just duplicate this and then name this maybe we'll just name this settings. Is it going to be our settings pop-up? Oh yeah, I just noticed. Make sure you name the title to title. I just forgot to change it to title from buttons. So then just set the background transparency to 0, and we'll just scale this up to around here. And just center it to the background transparency to 1. Then inside the cameras group, inside here, just delete all but one button. I'll just keep credits. Then just set the size to 1010. Then position 0.50.50. Inside the credits, just remove the text bar and text label. Then UI corner, just set the UI corner radius to around 0.1. Then name this little frame your main frame. Then just add text. I'll just duplicate the title text. I'll just put it at the top right here and name this. And in this text, I'll just put settings. Then add a new frame and set the size. Set the background transparency to 1, and then this frame shadows. Then what we'll do is we'll add a little text inside of it. So I'll just set this to Gotham Gold. I'll set the background transparency to 0.5 while I edit it though, so we can see what we have to work with. Then just wait in the top right. Then set text X alignment to the left, and then what we need to do is just duplicate the shadows frame, put it inside the shadows, and then just scale it back up. Move it to about here. We'll just add shadows to the text. And inside this, set the background transparency 0, and set the background color free to 30. We can set shadows. Then we can set shadows background transparency to 1. Then add a UI corner. And then set the corner radius to around 0.25. Then duplicate the shadows frame and put it in here. set the size to 1, 1, then set the Y to 0.5, and set the position to Y 0.5, then set the X size to 0.5. And what we'll do is we'll set the background color free to a some sort of white, green, or light green, round, something like this. This looks good. We'll name this the bar background. Then add a text label, size it up, and right here we'll add a stroke. So we'll add UI stroke, so then we can see the text. So we'll change this text to on, and we'll set the style to bold. Then it should just look something like this. Then what we'll do is we'll click on the plus and shadows and install local script. Name this local script manager. Then what we'll do is we'll do local on off equals false. Then local PS equals game get service queen service. Then local TI equals queen info .new. Then the time we'll do 0.5. Then enum dot easing style dot quad. Then enum dot easing direction dot in out. Then just set a 0 at the end. And we'll do is now, just before we continue, click on bar background and insert text bar. Just scale it. Set the background transparency. Set the background transparency to 1 and set the text to just nothing. Then name the text bar. We'll name this just bar. And what we'll do is we'll do script.parent bar background button mouse button click connect function. Then what we'll do is if on off equals true, then on off equals false. Actually, I just made a mistake here, so make sure you set on and off to true. It should look like this. Then we'll do gain get source lighting. Then global shadows equals false. Then tween source create. Then we'll do script.parent bar background bar. Then TI. And these little things, whatever they are, no idea what they called. Then we'll do background color free equals color free.from RGB. Then we'll have some sort of red. This is a good color. Just before we continue, if you see the on text, duplicate the on text and then replace the text with off. Then set on off text to off, and then the on text to on. And make sure you set off and UI stroke to transparency to 1. So then go back into the manager and then just copy this little line right here. Paste this in. Instead of this, do bar.on. Then just move this and instead we'll do background transparency equals 1. Then copy this, and then we'll do on.UI stroke, and then we'll do just transparency. Then copy these, and then instead of on, do off. Then set transparency to 0 on both of them. And what we'll do is we'll do script.parent background, bar background bar tween position udem2 .new. We'll do 0.5 0 0.5 0. Then in out quad. Then the time 0.5 and true. We're done that. And then, before we continue, make sure you put play at the end of all of these. And then, just copy all this. Then do else. And paste this back in. Then on off instead, change that to true. And then get the current bar color, which is this, and then put it into the color right here. And it said on transparency to 0, then off transparency to 1. And set the X to 0. And then we made our little button, so our shadows will disappear. We'll give it a quick play test. Now once we're in the game, if you click on the button which you put in, then it should see new. Now, just before we play test, I did make a quick mistake right here. So instead of background transparency of the text, do text transparency. I'm sorry for all the mistakes I've made on this. I didn't mean to. So we'll just change that. Then we can go ahead and play test. So then we'll run here. If we click on here, then it will go to off and our shadows turn off. And then the global shadows to true. And when we're in the game, if we click on, then it'll go back to off and all our shadows is disabled. And click it again, turn back on, and then as you can see, our shadows are back. So we can just continuously press this as much times as you want. So yeah, that's how you make the shadows. Now we're just gonna add 2 more options. So we'll set the transparency of this to 0. Duplicate it. Well, make sure on these 2, set the Z index to 2 on the properties. Then just drag this down. We'll drag 2. Then inside the manager, we'll do environment diffuse scale equals 0. And for the second one, we'll do environment diffuse scale 1. So what we'll do is we'll change this name to diffuse and change the text to diffuse. Oh yeah, we can change the transparency back now since we already moved them. Then right here, what we'll do is we'll do specular. Then on manager, we'll change this to environment specular scale. Then once we've done that, we can change the text. And then we can just go ahead and play test. So we got our reflections and all this. And that's how we make our settings. And then back here, click on the canvas group and set group transparency to 1. And then set the settings visible to false. Then we have this back. So what we'll do is we'll duplicate the settings and then we'll add our update log. So I'll just move everything in the main frame on the duplicate, and change this to update log. Then the canvas group, we'll set the group transparency to 0 and make it visible. And just change the text to update log. So what we'll do here is we'll just duplicate this little text right here. What we'll do is we'll do a scrolling frame. Then just scale it. Set the background transparency to 1. And I'll set the scroll bar image to white. Make sure you set the border size pixel to 0. And we'll set the scroll thickness to 5. Then just scale this down right here. And then just move this right here. And then set the anchor point to 0.5. And set the position to 0.50, 0.50. And just scale it like this. And put it underneath the text right here. So inside the scrolling frame, we'll add a UI list layout. And then what we'll do is we'll just duplicate this text right here. And then it's inside here. So I'll just scale this down a little bit. Then we'll set the X alignment to left. Then we can do this menu. And we can do map updates. This depends on your update to your game, so you can just leave this blank if you want to. So all you need to do is just duplicate the text as many times as you want, and it'll auto-update. So then we're done with the update log. Go to canvas group and set group transparency to 1. And make sure you set the visible to false. So let's sort credits next, so duplicate this and change this to credits. Then set the background transparency to 0. Sorry. Then set the canvas group transparency to 0 and make it visible. And inside here, what we'll do is we'll move the scrolling frame and then change this to credits. Then what we'll do is you can just duplicate the text. We'll put this in the middle, so then we can put in a username. So I'll put my username in. And then just some info what the player did, like made this menu, made the map, and then finally we'll just put scripting. So then you can just duplicate these two texts. So for example, if you could change the username to someone else, I'll put my friend in. I wrote G66, and then we can just put in modeling because he's a modeler. So then that's how you do our credits. So we'll set the canvas group transparency to 1, then set the credits visible to false. And finally, we just have to do the store. So duplicate credits, and then we'll name the store. Then inside the canvas group, we'll set the group transparency to 0. Set the visibility to true. Then inside here, what we'll do is we'll just remove the texts. We'll duplicate the main frame, put it inside the main frame. Do background color free, set to 3033. Then just set this size down a little bit. We'll say it's around this much. And don't forget to put the text in that we have our shot. Also, we'll set the corner radius to 0.25. So what we'll do is we'll do a text label. So we'll duplicate this text label, put it inside the main frame or our Game Pass. We'll set this to Game Pass name, so we could put like sword. Then we need a buy button. So just duplicate one of the buttons from our buttons and put it inside of here. And change the name to a buy. And change the text label to buy as well. And it says U next to 2, so we can drag it. Then we have something that looks like this. What we'll do is click on the plus in buy, then insert a local script. We'll name this local script buy script. Then do script.parent.TextPlan.mouse1click:connect function. Then just make it a few 2 lines and then do local Game Pass ID equals, then just put in your Game Pass ID. And then do local MS equals game :get service marketplace service. Then what we'll do is we'll do MS prompt Game Pass purchase. So you can, if you're selling a shirt or developer products, what you do is for prompt purchase, it's a shirt, and for prompt product purchase, it's a developer products. So we're doing a Game Pass, so what we'll do is just put this in, then do game.players.localplayer, and then do Game Pass ID. And then you're done with that. So make sure change these zeros to the Game Pass ID. It's like it could probably be something like this maybe, but I don't have a Game Pass, so we'll just leave that out. So it should look something like this. Then we're done with our store. We made our simple store with our Game Pass products. You can duplicate them and just drag them out. Then we could just add some more game passes or products. So we set the store visibility to false and set canvas group transparency to 0 or 1, sorry. Now we need to script our stuff. So what we'll do is we'll go into the settings script, so that's going to be our first pop-up. Click on the plus, insert a local script. Inside this local script, we'll name this pop-up. And what we'll do is we'll do local pop-ups equals script.parent.parent.parent.parent .popups. We'll do local buttons equals script.parent.parent.parent.parent.buttons. Then we'll do local button descendants, or just button descend equals buttons get descendants. What we'll do is we'll do scripts.parent.textButton.mouseWheel1click connect function. Then what we'll do is we'll do for I, v in first, and we'll do button descend. Then we'll do if v is a text button, then v.visible equals false. This just makes it so we can't interact with the buttons. Like, we can just imagine if we just click settings and we click update log instantly after, then it will just cause some problems. So if we click settings with this enabled, we can't click on any of the buttons, so it won't mess up everything up. So once we've done that, what we'll do is add 2 new locals. We'll do local. So we'll do the tuning for again, local ti equals game get service udem2 tween service local ts equals tween info. Actually, I accidentally swap these. Let me just swap these around real quick. Tween info.new. Then we'll set the time. Let's do 0.5. enum.easing style .quad enum.easing direction .inout 0. Then do ts create buttons canvas group, then ti, then these little bracket things, I don't know what they're called, still. And what we'll do is we'll do group transparency equals 1. So add a new local read, so we'll do local title equals script.parent.parent.parent.parent.title. So we'll just copy this again. And then instead of canvas group, instead of buttons, we'll do a title. Then do weight 0.5. Then we'll copy these again. And instead of title canvas group, we'll do popups settings canvas group. And then set group transparency to 0. Then it should look something like this. So before we continue, we'll get our settings again, make it visible in the group canvas group, set the group transparency to 0. Now let's just add a quick close button. So what we'll do is I'll grab the play button again, paste it into the main frame, and I'll put it in this little corner up here. And we'll change this to back. And inside the text, we'll put in back. And set the text button so that's visible to false. And we're done with that. What we'll do is we'll go to pop-up, and then set it. Popups.settings .visible equals true, and popups.settings .canvas group .back. Canvas group .mainframe .back .visible equals true. .back .button .visible equals true. Then it should look like this. So now once we're in the game, if we click settings, we'll just tune away like this, and then we have our settings. So if you want to do some quick troubleshooting, we'll click on this multiple times. It won't let us, so we shouldn't have any errors. And we click on the back bar, but we haven't switched that yet. That's what we're going to be switching next. So what we can do is we can copy the pop-up script from the settings, and then what we'll do is we'll just paste it into the back bar. So on this, all you have to do is just add an extra parent to all of these. Now all we need to do is we just need to reverse everything. So we'll copy this, and we'll put this on the first line of this. Copy this and delete it, and we'll put it at the end right here, and just delete this. And just do this, and then just copy this, put this after, and then set this to false. And then it should just look like this. Make sure you set the v.visible to true, and then this to false, and then we should be done right here. Let's go and test it out. And just before we play test, right here, do .Parent.MainFrame. So make sure you do .Parent.MainFrame. So it should look like this now. This pop-ups is all by itself, mainframe, and buttons is not by itself. So make sure you keep that in mind. Then we'll set group transparency to 1, and then group transparency to 0 on everything else. Then let's play test. Then we'll swim the game, we'll click on settings, it tunes away, we got our settings right here. Click on back, it'll tune away, and it tunes our menu back in. So we can click back on the settings, click on back, and we can do this for all the buttons. So now that we've made our system for the one button, now we need to do it for our next button. So we'll do store next. So duplicate the back one, and then just put it into the store mainframe. And then inside here, instead of pop-up, instead of settings, we'll just change everything to store. And once we've done that, we'll duplicate the pop-up script from settings into our store, and then just change everything settings to pop-up to store. And there we go, just like that. It's configured for the store, so we can test it out again, and we can try the store. Go back in game, click on settings, and we can click on store, and it'll take us to the shop. So there we go, the store works and the setting works. So now we're just going to do it for the last two buttons. Then we'll get to configuring play. So next we'll do credits. So we'll change everything from store to credits, and then duplicate the back bar, put inside credits. Then inside the back bar, we'll just change everything from settings to credits. And then once we've done that, we'll do it first for update log. So I'll duplicate back, put it into update log, mainframe. And inside here, we'll change this to update log. So it's in the back bar, so we'll just duplicate the final part of the script, put it into update log. And then what we'll do is we'll set the stuff again. So instead of store, we'll do update log. So we'll just double check everything and see if everything is right. So everything seems to be right, so what we'll do is make sure you save the game. And let's go ahead and playtest and see if our buttons are working. Alright, so we're in the game. If we click on settings, our settings are working. We click on back, click on update log, sends us to our update log, click on back, click on credits, send us the credits to the game, so me and my friend Hot Rod. Go to back, set store, and then we can click on buy to get a source. And they will prompt us with a game pass, but I haven't put the ID in. So it should work for you. And then we've done our buttons. So now what we need to do is we need to configure our play button. So what we need to do is you can just minimize all of this and minimize pop-ups. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a new frame. We're gonna set the size 0, 0, 1, 1. Set the background transparency to 1. Sorry. Set the background color free to around 20, 20, 20. And then set the anchor point Y to 0.5. And then set position on Y 0.5. And then set the X position to 1. And then set border size pixel to 0. Then name this frame transition. So we'll just duplicate the pop-up script inside settings. And instead of pop-up, we'll name this. So what we got here, so instead of here, we'll delete all this. And we can delete all the stuff related to pop-ups. So we can just keep all this. Then what we'll do is we'll add a new local. We'll do local script, local transition equals script.parent.Parent.Parent.Parent.transition. Then we got this. So what we'll do is we'll do transition tween position udem2.new. We'll do 0, 0.5, 0. Sorry, 0, 0, 0.5, 0. So this, and then we'll do in out quad. And then the time for this one we'll do 1. And set that, and then just add true to the end. Then we're done on transition tween, so what we'll do is we'll do wait 1, copy this, paste it again, and instead of 0, set this to -1. Instead here, we'll do workspace.CurrentCamera.Camera type equals LEMMiNO. Camera type custom. Then after that we'll just do wait 1, then do transition.parent :destroy. Then this will destroy the entire GUI, so we can't interact with it or anything. So then we've done our play button. Now we just need to do the final stuff. What we'll do is we'll click on the plus, insert a new local script. Name this local script startup. So in this we'll do local starter GUI equals game get service start GUI. Then we'll do start GUI set core GUI enabled. Then enum.core GUI type .all. Then set it to false. So we'll just copy this and put it into the play script right here. So instead of right here, we'll do true so we'll enable this. So what this does, it just disables all the GUIs like playlist, chat, toolbox, all that. And once we're done on that, we'll just add some little effects to our play buttons, and we'll just add some effects to our buttons. What we'll do is click the plus on the play again, and inside of local script, we'll name this animations. What we can do is we can just copy the tween service and stuff. And then instead of this, instead of 0.5, do 0.25. Then what we'll do is we'll do script.parent.mouseEnter :connect function. Then we'll do ti create. Sorry, ts create. We'll do script.parent ti. Then these weird brackets again. We'll do background color free equals color free .new 50 50 50. Then at the end come play. I remembered it that time. Then just copy this. Instead of mouse enter, do mouse leave, and then say to 40 40 40. Now just notice, don't say to new, do from RGB. I still get confused to this day, so make sure you say to from RGB instead of new. Now, if you're using a custom button color, it will reset it back to the gray. So, if you use a custom button like something like a blue color, then what we need to do is we need to copy this, and then paste it into here. And then in the second one, just paste it in here, click on this thing, and then just say to a bright version of that color, and then you're done. But I'm not going to be using different colors, so I'm just going to be using the dark gray. So let's go ahead and play test and see if it works. Make sure you save everything. So we'll save to Roblox and let's play test. So in the game we got credits. Then credits, you'll send us credits. Click back to the menu. Got our shop. Settings. Have our settings right here. Go to back. Click on update log. Have our update log. Click back. And as you can see, we have our button effects on our play button. So we click play. Anyway, transition, and it resets our camera back. So we'll just put in our animation scripts into all the other buttons. You can put this in the back button as well if you want to, so we'll just filter workspace right back. Then just paste all of the stuff here into back. Yeah, just paste the animation script into back and then you're done. So we can just close out of everything. Now what we need to do is, so like we have a game and I want to interact with it, but this menu is on my screen. How do we fix that? So what we'll do is click on the menu, set enabled to false, and then go to startup, then do script.parent.enabled equals true. And here's another problem we need to battle. So like imagine this. Screen GUI. This can be like text, just random text. And sorry, not look scripts. And we have a text table. Now this is another GUI in our game, and it's gonna be visible inside the menu when we join. How do we make it so we can't see it when we're in the menu, but we can see it after we click on play? So click on this, set enable to false, then go into mainframe, buttons, go into the play scripts. Then what we need to do is, we'll do, just after here, we'll do start GUI dot text dot enabled equals true. So make sure for all your GUI set enabled to false, then you just copy and paste this each time for each GUI. So like instead of text we have our like another menu, like in-game menu. Like that's how you make it so we can set another GUI to be visible to true when we press play. Just remember to don't use start GUI for this. Instead we need to use the player GUI. So what we'll do is we'll do local PLR GUI equals game colon get source players local player colon wait child player GUI. And then in here, instead of start GUI to text GUI, do PLR GUI. Make sure it's that instead of start GUI. So once you've done all that, let's go ahead and play test and see if it works. So once we're in the game, have our hover effects, our play, settings, credits, store, update log. We can test them out again. We got settings. Our right button has artifacts. So then we have our shop. You click on the buy button. I haven't put the Game Pass ID in, so it won't work. Update log. Have our update log. Click back. And then yeah, everything else works. Have our credits, my username, and my friend Hot Rod. And then click play. Transition. Back in. And our other GUI is now enabled, and our code GUIs are enabled. And chat and all that. So that's how you make a pretty advanced menu GUI. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.